You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
Championship weekend here in the NBL gets underway right now, folks. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into NBL Live. We have a doozy of a broadcast for you tonight. We are going to fill out our NBL Super Bowl tonight, folks. A reminder, that Super Bowl is coming up tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, but we got 4 teams left, starting off with the AFC Championship game. It is the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we get to that game, we, of course, have our NBL Live pregame show. That's brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do a ton of graphics for our entire NBL network. We talk about them every week. They're doing a great deal. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done, you want a sweet discount, let them know NBL sent you, and I'll bet it's going to give you 15% off your entire order. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm always you. I'm hanging out with my man, Sonny Weaver. Sonny, back from Hawaii. I'm happy you didn't get pulverized by a volcano. You're looking a little tanner.
Yeah, just a little bit, Tanner. I'm excited. I made it back just in time. Had to hop that red eye to get back in time to watch this game because it's going to be a doozy. I'm excited tonight for everything we're going to see. It's going to be a fun night here on NBL.
Luke Buckets 100 saying, hey, I'm new. I followed Luke Buckets. Appreciate the follow. Just a programming update for everybody out there. We got the AFC Championship game coming up. Our plan is to have the NFC Championship game following that. However, unfortunately, one of the guys in that NFC Championship game doesn't have power at the moment. Some powerful storms moving through his town. So we will hopefully have that following this game. But unfortunately, if his power can't get up, at that point, I don't know what to do. At that point, can't really have a game if you don't have internet or an Xbox or, lights. So just a note on that one. But we do have the AFC Championship game coming up. Sonny, this is a great matchup. Browns and Steelers. Steelers 15-1 in the regular season. That one was the Cleveland Browns, and this Browns team has been a thorn in the side of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They broke the Pittsburgh Steelers' long division title run. And this seems like a matchup that is just, it's sort of almost been looking like they've been on a collision course all year.
It really does feel that way. I think this Browns team has been hot and cold at times. It seems like they are a team that can be a threat to the Steelers, but at other times they can lose to anyone, and that's kind of the up and down season we've seen from this Cleveland Browns team. But I think they're going to give them a little bit of a run for their money tonight. I'll talk predictions later, but I think it's going to be closer than people think.
Let's take a look at the players to watch for today's game between the Browns and the Steelers. And first, on the side of the Cleveland Browns, it's a guy we've been talking about a lot, Sonny. Myles Garrett is having another great season. And really, as a unit, this Browns defense has been solid. Myles Garrett, 61 tackles, 14 for loss, 19.5 sacks. And we talk about, Sonny, the keys to the game. And when you look at when you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers perpetually, if you're able to get pressure on the quarterback, if you're able to get pressure on Matt Stafford, you have a good chance to win. We saw it happen in the divisional round. The Steelers almost dropping that one if it weren't for a missed extra point. The Ravens would possibly be in this game. But they were able to get some pressure on Matt Stafford late, and that's sort of when Matt Stafford got a little inaccurate. You got to think the Browns' defensive line is a key if the Browns are going to come away with a victory.
It is a key tonight. You've always got to account for Myles Garrett, 19.5 sacks on the year. A guy gets after the quarterback. They've got some other guys across that line that can also do some things that is really impressive. You mentioned it early on. Matthew Stafford under pressure is about the only time Matthew Stafford doesn't look flawless. And so tonight, Myles Garrett's going to be a key. I look for the Pittsburgh Steelers here to ID Myles Garrett early in the kind of coming to the line moment and slide protection towards him. Basically take Myles Garrett out of this game and hope that somebody else has to step up to beat you, not Myles Garrett.
On the side of the Pittsburgh Steelers, let's take a look at Ryan Shazier. 70 tackles on the year. Great number there. All over the field. 3.5 sacks, 4 interceptions, 7 tackles for loss. And when we talk about Ryan Shazier, it seems like whenever he's on NBL Live, he plays up to another level. And this is a guy who is the defensive leader. He's the emotional leader. And he's also the guy that finds a way to make the big plays. Whenever you see, I feel like whenever you see a guy like maybe trying to get to the first down marker, Ryan Shazier is that sure tackler who's going to keep him away from it. And he's going to have his hands full with both the running attack with Duke Johnson of the Cleveland Browns and those very speedy wide receivers that are going to be running a lot of underneath routes and trying to get behind the defense.
Really what Ryan Shazier does is he locks down the running attack. You cannot run against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. That's the key here. Ryan Shazier, sideline to sideline, is going to chase you down. Now, this Cleveland Browns offense likes to start the running game by getting outside. They like to run out shotgun and get Duke Johnson out on the edge. They've got good run blocking wide receivers. So Ryan Shazier is going to be key tonight. They've got to blow up Duke Johnson. They've got to blow up this running attack and make the young quarterback Watson throw the ball and beat them. Although Shazier does that a little bit in that pass coverage, I look for Ryan Shazier to be a big part in stopping this running attack.
All right, well, we are about ready to send this out to the ball game. Sonny, we got to get your prediction. I got to stretch out that old noggin. I haven't made a prediction in a while. Got to get back on the horse. So who do you like to fill out the AFC side of the Super Bowl? Is it going to be the Cleveland Browns, a team that has shown a lot here in the playoffs, a very strong team with a great wide receiver core and a star rookie in Joe Watson, who had a fantastic divisional round matchup? Or is it going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers once again representing the AFC? Maybe a new quarterback under the helm in Matt Stafford. No Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Stafford at the helm, but it's that same Pittsburgh Steelers mentality. They're going to score points. They're going to score a lot. They're going to look for yet another title.
Well, you know, these Cleveland Browns did upset the, LA Chargers. I almost messed that up again. And you feel like they may be a team of destiny. They're finding a way to get it done. But not so fast, my friends. I'm still going to stick with the Pittsburgh Steelers until proven otherwise. They are the king of the division. They're the king of the conference. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I like the Pittsburgh Steelers that come from behind, win late. Give me the Steelers 27-24 over the Cleveland Browns in what should be a fun game down the stretch.
Should be a fantastic matchup. Folks, get your predictions in the chat. We'll read those throughout the first quarter. But we're ready to send this out to the AFC Championship game coming up next. It's a battle between two AFC North teams who know each other so well. Only one spot in the Super Bowl, though, for the AFC side. It's the 13-3 Browns against the 15-1 Steelers. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live. Empty backfield for Atkins. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on fourth down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is
touchdown.
coming back. He's got to open up in the middle. It's
Wow.
Thunder.
That big playmaker
Look at
ability,
him
he
go.
finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another
Touchdown.
touchdown. Championship weekend here in the NBL. An exciting time to be here on the NBL Network, and we've got a doozy for you to start this weekend off. It is the AFC Championship game pitting two AFC North teams together. This is the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers right here on NBL Live. I'm OSU. I'm hanging with my man Sonny Weaver. Sonny, we talked about this with the last AFC divisional round matchup between the Steelers and the Ravens. These two teams, they've already played each other twice. They know each other pretty well. Third matchup always seems like a wild card.
It really does, and it's actually bodes well for Pittsburgh. It's hard to beat a good team 3 times in a row, so actually dropping one I feel like helps them coming into this game.
On first and 10, it's going to be Joe Watson, the Cleveland Browns, and they're going to hand it off on first down. Duke Johnson trying to get outside. Who else making the tackle, though, Sonny? But Ryan Shazier keeping the pursuit, sealing that edge, and making sure Johnson can't get to the outside.
We talked about in the pregame, Ryan Shazier is the key to stopping this running attack. Duke Johnson wants to get to the edge, wants to get around the corner. Can't let that happen. Ryan Shazier right there getting the stop behind the line.
NBL Live broadcast 2:20. Again, folks, programming note, hopefully we're going to have that NFC Championship game following this one. It just depends on the power situation over for the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see how that goes. We'll keep you updated. 2nd and 12, Joe Watson dropping back to pass. 4-man rush from the Steelers. Quick pass underneath it is complete up to the 33-yard line. Sonny, this is what the Browns did very effectively in that divisional round matchup against the Chargers. They got Joe Watson into a rhythm early, and he seemed to flourish once he got a little bit of throws under his belt.
Yeah, and what I'd like to see is maybe Pittsburgh take some chances of some press man playing inside and making them beat you over top. I feel like Cleveland wants to work underneath. They want to work the middle of the field. Make them take those deep outside shots.
3rd and 2 for the Browns. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Watson. Dropping back to pass. Blitz coming. Quick throw to the out route. It is complete. Trying to do a spin move. Corey Coleman out there can't get past the defender, but he'll pick up a first down to the 46-yard line. Hey, a reminder, folks, 3rd quarter, we will be giving away 2 prizes to our subscribers. It's subscriber only, so you got to hit that subscribe button if you want to win. We're going to be giving away a 12-month Xbox Live gift card and an NBL Network gift pack valued at over $150. Last one had some gift cards. It had a T-shirt. It had a custom controller. So you got to be subscribed to win. We'll be drawing that at the end of the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10. Joe Watson, he's going to hand this off to Duke Johnson. Ryan Shazier gets shaken off, and Duke Johnson's got some room all the way up to the 40-yard line. Boy, Sonny, you don't think of Duke Johnson as a power back, but he showed off some strength there, shaking off the talented Ryan Shazier.
And really, that was a huge play by Bailey, the cornerback. He came off his block and spun out there to tackle Johnson. Otherwise, Johnson was running for 6 there. But great run by Duke Johnson, making the defender get off of him.
1st and 10. For the Cleveland Browns, it's going to be a handoff to Duke Johnson, cut it back up the inside. He'll pick up a couple to the 37-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8. And, Sonny, this Browns team, this is a team that's been on the cusp, a team that hasn't won a Super Bowl this cycle. They feel real confident about their chances this year.
Well, they feel comfortable. I think they've got some confidence. We mentioned it before. They do have a win. But I wouldn't get too excited. You haven't won anything big yet.
Joe Watson rolling, lots of time. Joe Watson's going to take off. He's got the first down, a slide down at the 26-yard line, picking up 11 on the play. A very heady play there by Joe Watson. Sonny, this rookie plays, about the opposite I would expect of a rookie. He doesn't seem to get rattled by anything.
Yeah, and as John Gruden would say, spider to why banana there. That's what you got is you got the fullback coming out of the backfield. He had the option, but basically they had some good downfield blocking of the guys running the routes there, and Watson decided to take off. Good read there by Joe Watson.
Shotgun formation for Watson. He'll drop back to pass. Blitz coming, picked up nicely by the Browns offensive line. He completes it over to the left side. First down up to the 11-yard line, and Sonny, so far, this Browns offensive line, especially in pass protection, doing a great job of containing a very aggressive Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Yeah, and what you're noticing right now is if you've got man coverage, you've got an out route somewhere in this routes. And if you're Pittsburgh, you got to pay attention to that. You got to disguise this man coverage a little bit better because if they see it, they're going to throw it.
1st and 10 for the Browns as they're nearing the end zone, only 11 yards away. Bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left side. As Joe Watson is under center, he's changing up the play. Switching to a 2-wide set. And on first down, he's going to hand it off over the left side up to the 8-yard line. That is Smiley coming into the game. Picking up 2, going to bring up a 2nd and 8.
And you see Smiley come in to run between the tackles, not Duke Johnson's forte. He likes to get outside. So a little bit of a key there for Pittsburgh to watch going forward.
XLBA saying, is there a place for me to see the previous champs? 365.maddenbomberleague.com. You can check out basically all of NBL history on our website. As the handoff is to Duke Johnson. Oh, nice juke move. Spins off a tackle. And Duke Johnson with a man's run into the end zone. Oh, he showed off his strength on this drive. Known as a speed back, but on this one, showed he's been in the weight room as he shakes off a tackler and takes it 8 yards to the house.
And right there, Shazier actually passed off the blocker, and he had a clean shot at him. Didn't quite get there. And Duke Johnson showing his best attempt to shake blockers tonight. A little bit surprised. He's not known for that, but doing a pretty good job.
A big shout out to Doughboy with the 4 months up subscribing as Cleveland picks up a 7-0 lead early in this game. And now we get to see the Pittsburgh Steelers come out on offense. But, Sonny, if you're Cleveland, you've got to feel great about how that first drive went.
Yeah, the first drive really went like clockwork, and now it's time to see this offense from Pittsburgh. If they can sling it around the field, that's the thing to watch. Obviously, that pass rush is an issue, but the wide receivers for Pittsburgh, they are electric, and they can strike quick.
Matt Stafford dropping back on 1st and 10, looking for Chauncey Arnold in coverage, makes the catch. Oh, he fought through the traffic, is able to pick up a first down at the 48-yard line. Sonny, this Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver core is one of the best in the NBL, and it starts with Chauncey Arnold.
And we just talked about it, right? So you've got Arnold out there running around, and he makes that big contested catch, and you got Matthew Stafford coming out here again ready to sling the ball.
And on 1st and 10, Stafford dropping back to pass. Waiting, looking, looks to the out route, finds Javier Howard with a diving catch to the 39-yard line. 2 of 2 to start the game for Stafford, and they're already inside the 40-yard line.
Exactly, and just like that, Pittsburgh already in striking distance, and they're showing why this offense is so tough to contain. They've got so many options around the field. It's really pick your poison with this offense.
1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 4 wide receivers. Should be 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, 1 tight end on the right side of that formation. Stafford dropping back to pass on 1st down. Waiting, looking, has the tight end up the seam. He finds Jesse James, who splits the safeties, and on 3 plays, they're already to the 8-yard line.
3 throws, 66 yards, and it's just going like clockwork for this offense. Nothing you can do to stop them. The pass rush can't get there because they're getting the ball out quick. And right now you're seeing why Matthew Stafford is the league MVP.
1st and goal for the Steelers. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Amir Abdullah in the backfield on 1st down. It's going to be another pass looking back at the end zone. Ooh, Matt Stafford airmailing that one. Lucky that he put so much on that ball, Sonny, because there was no wide receiver in the area.
Well, I think he was anticipating the guy would be there. The linebacker got a redirect on the tight end trying to run that seam route, and so he wasn't quite where he thought he was going to be when he let go of that one.
Now 2nd and goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Matt Stafford under center. Javi Howard split out to the left. Chauncey Arnold split on the right. Arnold coming in motion. And on 2nd down, it's going to be Stafford throwing it once again. Waiting. Down goes Stafford as that Browns defensive line gets there. Is Spate in on the sack. The first time they've been able to get to Matt Stafford, and it backs him up to a 3rd and goal.
And that's a tough play to run down there because obviously that corner with the underneath there on the left side is where he wanted to be, but it was just too crowded out there in the end zone. Stafford didn't want to make that throw.
3rd and goal, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. They're going to play it safe. Hand it off to Giovanni Bernard, who's going to get a nice gain up to the 6-yard line. Sonny, that surprises me. Typically, the Pittsburgh Steelers, a fairly aggressive offense, taking the run play with how effective their passing attack is. That surprised me as they settle for 3.
Yeah, and they do that sometimes. You'll see them run on 3rd downs, and it's almost a little bit to keep you honest because a lot of people expect to pass there. They do a lot of runs on 3rd and medium, 3rd and long, and I kind of thought that may be the case there. They want to put points on the board. They trust their defense to get a turnover and look for some pressure right here to come at Joe Watson.
Well, the Cleveland Browns are going to come back out on offense. Sonny, we saw Joe Watson very effective on the first drive. What do the Pittsburgh Steelers have to do to get this rookie off his game?
Well, I talked about it a little bit. I'd like to see some press man maybe. You know, they run those out routes when they see man. Let's get in there and press man, see if you can't get some pressure on him.
1st and 10 for the Cleveland Browns. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Man coming in motion. Looks like they're setting up the PAFK quick, and they are. And he looks up the seam and completes it all the way down to the 49-yard line. Joe Watson, 4 for 4 to start this game. Great read there, splitting the 2 safeties.
Yeah, and they actually did a good job picking up the little reversal there, but the seam route opened up. And with that, if you're running against man, you're probably going to have someone open. They did a good job of finding the open man there. If I'm Pittsburgh, I stay aggressive here. Got to get after Watson.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and it looks like they're setting up a little counter play for Duke Johnson, who shakes off a tackle. He cuts it back right. He's got some room. He's up to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Jawara Forney shoves him out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Sonny, Duke Johnson clearly was in the weight room this week. We've seen him shake off a couple tacklers right there. A beautiful run, cutting it back to the right side.
Yeah, kind of strange what we're seeing tonight. Duke Johnson, I can't tell if maybe some aggressive ball carrier or something like that may be on, but they're breaking a lot of tackles, which is not Duke Johnson's forte. So a little perplexing up to this point, but we'll see where this takes us here as the first quarter is going to ring out.
Unique Mazik saying heck of a move to bounce to the outside as Joe Watson dropping back to pass. Rush is getting there. He gets hit as he throws. Just gets it away as it'll be an incomplete pass. Yeah, Sonny, that looked like a disastrous play. Johnson seeing the penetration early by Ryan Shazier, cutting back the counter play to the backside. How often do you see that working?
Well, occasionally, but you know, the broken tackle is really what springs that open.
2nd and 10, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. It's going to be a handoff once again to Duke Johnson. That one a little predictable as Ryan Shazier gets right into the backfield and brings down Duke Johnson. They made sure he didn't have any opportunity to break a tackle there.
No, not at all. And now this is a big 3rd and 12 here. If Pittsburgh just gives up 3 here, you're feeling okay. You're feeling like, hey, we can come back. We can score a touchdown. We've got the best offense in the league. But a touchdown here, that could spell some trouble here for Pittsburgh.
Uncharacteristically bad tackling from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Usually a sure tackling defense, Sonny. I'm surprised to see them having so much trouble with Duke Johnson.
That has been the biggest shock of this game up to this point is how bad the tackling for Pittsburgh has been.
3rd and 12, empty backfield for Joe Watson and the Cleveland Browns. He's going to drop back to pass on 3rd and 12. Looks over the middle of the field, has a man. Touchdown, Brownies! As David Njoku picking up the touchdown. The Steelers, they brought the cover 0 blitz, and Joe Watson says, no problem, I'll find the end zone as Cleveland an early 2-score lead.
You know, you really got to play the inward breaking routes here with Cleveland. They run the out route. Yeah, that's true. But otherwise, this team stays pretty consistent working the inside seams, whether that's with Njoku or one of their receivers. So you really want to use that inside and try to take that away. But Pittsburgh right now is not doing that. They're sending the heat, one-on-one coverage. Not really shading inside, which has been interesting. I think that's going to be something they're going to have to adjust here late in the second.
Yeah, David Njoku is such a weapon for Joe Watson. Very sure-handed, big physical tight end. Sonny, he loves finding him both inside the red zone, and he has shown an ability to stretch the field.
Yeah, he definitely has. He's a playmaker for sure, and somebody they're going to have to watch throughout this game.
First and 10, shotgun formation for Matt Stafford. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right, 1 over to the left side. Stafford driving back to pass on first and 10. Waiting, looks over the middle. It's picked off. The Browns get a turnover off of Matt Stafford as they'll get the ball at the 28-yard line. Tremont Pierce jumping the post route. What's going on here in Pittsburgh, Sonny? A team that many thought were going to trounce their way to another Super Bowl title. They've been caught off guard here in the first half.
Well, they're looking a little bit rattled right now, and they got to calm down. They're not out of this one, but they got to figure something out here quick.
Toss play to the outside. Duke Johnson trying to get to the edge. He does. He'll pick up a nice gain to the 23-yard line. 7 carries, 62 yards for Duke Johnson. The Cleveland Browns, a huge opportunity to go up big early before we hit halftime.
Yeah, and right now, Pittsburgh's got to stop them here. They've got to get something. They've got to create some sort of defensive splash play. And I think you got to find pressure, some sort of zone blitz, maybe the call here.
2nd and 5 for the Browns. Shotgun formation for Joe Watson. He'll drop back, hand it off to Duke Johnson. Cuts it up the middle. He'll be near the first down marker at the 18-yard line. And they're going to say he's just short, 3rd and inches. Sonny, I mean, you got to think there's some concern over in Pittsburgh. I know that they are a quick-scoring team, and really a deficit is not a big deal to them, but considering how they played against the Ravens, how they escaped with a win there, they got to feel a little nervous coming down 11 points.
Boy, they are, and they really need their defense to step up here and help them out, as that doesn't quite happen.
Not really, as Duke Johnson on 3rd and inches gets just enough on that halfback wham. Such a great play, having that pulling tight end as an extra blocker. Not a whole lot there, but he got just enough.
Yeah, just enough there. And whenever you see that tight end pulling, you almost got to run commit that middle because you know that play is coming. It's such a staple of some of these teams for short yardage.
1st and 10, I formation. On first down, play action pass, Joe Watson rolling out to the right side, looking underneath. It's picked up by Jawar Forney. Oh, no problems in Pittsburgh as Forney's got some room to the 35. Juke move up to the 40. He'll be taken down at the 45-yard line. Joe Watson making his first major mistake of the playoffs, Sonny. He looked like one of the tight ends underneath, and Jawar Forney ran his eyes the other way and just took it to the 45-yard line.
Well, you know, it wasn't a bad read. Forney was in trail technique there, but he just jumped the route. He got a little burst there to undercut the route. Watson's got to put that out a little bit more, and that's why he is a former defensive MVP, Jawar Forney.
And Matt Stafford dropping back on 1st and 10, trying to recover after the interception. He's going to take a sack at the 37-yard line. Spate's 2nd of the day, dropping it back to a 2nd and long, and so far, the defense is making some big plays for both teams.
Stafford looking a little gun shy right now. He's getting hit. If I'm Matthew Stafford, I'm going to start keeping my halfback in to block, give myself a little bit more time to throw downfield.
2nd and 18, empty backfield for the Pittsburgh Steelers, dropping back on 2nd and 18. Stafford looks over the middle. He finds the tight end Jesse James up near midfield, gets a good chunk of that loss back. He's going to bring it back to a 3rd and 5. Sonny, Are you at all surprised? I know no more Le'Veon Bell. It's Amir Abdullah in the backfield. Are you surprised Pittsburgh hasn't tried to establish at least a little bit of a run game early?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think that's happened because Cleveland's really taken them off their game with the turnovers and such. I think Pittsburgh score here, and you'll see that running game come back to life. But right now, they're a little bit in desperation mode here, I think, to try to get a score on the board.
Shotgun formation for the Pittsburgh Steelers, as it's going to be Stafford dropping back on 3rd down, needing a conversion here. He's going to look underneath, finds Chauncey Arnold, who's in open space, up past the 40, up past the 35 to the 32-yard line. Stafford, no panic whatsoever, waited to the last moment and finds the speedy Chauncey Arnold for a big first down.
And so now Pittsburgh in a big position here. Got to come away with 7. 3 is just not going to do it here. I think 7's kind of going to be key here. You get man coverage coming out. Try to match up one of your speedy wide receivers here on man.
1st and 10, Arnold coming in motion on 1st down. It's a play action pass. Matt Stafford rolling to the left side. He looks for Arnold underneath. Nobody on him. He's got some space. He has a first down up to the 21-yard line. And a reminder, folks, for you just tuning in, Welcome to NBL Live Broadcast 220 AFC Championship game between the Steelers and the Browns. At the end of the third quarter, we'll be drawing 2 names from our subscriber list to win a 12-month Xbox Live gift card as well as an NBL gift pack valued at over $150. You have to be a subscriber to win. You have until the end of the third quarter to hit that subscribe button. We'll be giving away an Xbox Live gift card and a gift pack tonight and tomorrow during the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time right here on the NBL Network, as we've got a 2nd and 5 now. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ameer Abdullah getting a carry there, finding 5 on the play as we are under 3 minutes to play in the first half. And it's going to be Matt Stafford in the shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, Ameer Abdullah. To his right in the shotgun. Arnold coming in motion from right to left. He's going to drop back to pass on 2nd and 5. Looks up the seam and Drake Christian all alone. No panic in Pittsburgh. It looked dire, but 40 with the pick and Stafford closing it out to get this game back to a 1-score game.
And right there, that was a clutch throw by Matthew Stafford. He could have taken the easier underneath route. The halfback was running a little angle route out of the backfield. Probably would have been about 5 yards short. Instead, he throws it in a tight window there and gets the touchdown. That's an impressive throw there by Matthew Stafford.
Matt Stafford leading the Steelers back down for a touchdown. And now we'll get to see what Joe Watson has for the Cleveland Browns. Sonny, the rookie, throwing an interception. He was nearly perfect in that game against the Chargers. He threw a pick here early, and it was a moment when it looked like the Browns could run away with this one. How do you think the rookie reacts to making a really crucial mistake?
Look for some more cautious throws here. I'm thinking out routes. I'm thinking drag routes. I don't think you're going to see anything downfield here in this drive. I think it's going to be kind of a short working underneath kind of drive. Well,
there's that out route to the outside. It is complete all the way up to the 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the play as Joe Watson goes over 100 yards passing, 242 and counting, and a real safe throw there from the rookie Joe Watson.
Exactly, and that's what you're going to see in this drive. You're going to see the outs. You're going to see the underneath. Maybe a post down the middle if it's there, but very conservative throws coming up here.
Duke Johnson fights off his own blocker and is able to get up to the 43-yard line. It wasn't a pretty run there, Sonny, but Duke Johnson running up the backside of his own blocker actually helped him a little bit, and he was able to get the first down.
Yeah, and Duke Johnson right now has been the key to this game for Cleveland. As he runs, so does this offense. And if you're Pittsburgh, you really got to key in. You got to take Duke Johnson away. I'm going to let Joe Watson throw. I'm not going to let Duke Johnson run on me.
1st and 10, 3 wide receivers for Joe Watson. 2 now going over to the left side. That's Coleman and Mitchell split out to the left. Duke Johnson in the backfield. On 1st and 10, it's Joe Watson dropping back to pass. Waiting, looking, waiting. And just chucks that one. I think that was going out of bounds. I think that was a throwaway the entire way. And Sonny, the one guy who's not on the field because he got hurt at the end of the season, is Zach DeManch, a real playmaker for this Cleveland Browns wide receiver core. They are missing him, and that's a big weapon to not have on the field.
It is, and it's one of the reasons I feel like you really have to stack the box for Duke Johnson here and make other guys on the field beat you. I feel better with that wide receiver core without DeManch beating me than Duke Johnson at this point.
2nd and 10, blitz picked up, out route to the right side. It is complete all the way up to the 25-yard line as we've hit the 2-minute warning. Nice recognition there by Joe Watson, seeing the only guy over there and throwing the out route, putting it on target as Reeves has his 3rd catch of the day, and now it's a 1st and 10 under the 2-minute warning. And put 2 wide receivers over to the right side, 1 over to left. Duke Johnson in the backfield. Joe Watson under center. This is where he threw a pick on the last drive, looking to keep it clean here and put his team back up by at least 7. Joe Watson dropping back, play action pass, rolling to the left side. Looks back over to the right side on the dig route. Boy, the footwork there was suspect, Sonny, but he threw a dot to the right side on the in route as Reeves comes up with his 4th catch of the day.
Yeah, it was a very dangerous throw. I thought that one probably should have been intercepted, but nonetheless, they do get away with one there. And if you're Pittsburgh, you got to be careful here. The out route would be kind of a dangerous throw here, but don't be surprised if they try to take it.
Bunch formation now, and Njoku going in motion over to the left side. It's going to be hand off to Duke Johnson, who just gets caught up for a second, and that probably kept him out of at least being down to the 1-yard line. He'll pick up a couple on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line.
Well, my question right now is why is Pittsburgh not calling a timeout? They're inside. There's no way they can actually get a first down here. So you want to call a timeout. You want to try to conserve about a minute, minute and a half for you to score here. Instead, Cleveland's going to run this clock out. Make sure you get the ball back with nothing on the clock.
2nd and goal, 2 tight ends over to the left side for Joe Watson. Duke Johnson in the backfield on 2nd and goal, minute 6 and counting. In the first half, Cleveland looking to extend their lead. As Joe Watson surveying the defense here, 6 yards away. This is where it's so tough to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. As once again they get into the backfield. Looks like T.J. Watt in on the tackle to bring down Duke Johnson for a loss of 1 on the play.
And again, why not call a timeout there? Now Pittsburgh, after wasting roughly 40 seconds of not calling timeouts, decides to call a timeout there. And I feel like that time was more valuable than the timeouts.
And now a 3rd and goal for the Cleveland Browns, looking to cash in on a real nice drive. After on the last drive, they threw an interception to Jawara Forney, who took it back to the 45-yard line. Matt Stafford eventually cashing in on that one. Cleveland looking to extend their lead, though, as they go into halftime. 3 wide receivers, 2 over the left side, 1 over the right. Duke Johnson in the backfield. He's going to drop back to pass on 3rd and goal. Quick throw on the slant route. It's not held on to. Almost caught on the ricochet, but it's going to fall to the ground incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Yeah, that was scary. I thought he actually caught that on the ricochet, the way the kind of animation worked there. But nonetheless, that was a big stop there by Pittsburgh.
And on 4th and goal, they're going to attempt this field goal. 24-yard attempt is up. It is good. And Cleveland gets a field goal, gets points on the board to extend it to 17-10. But 40 seconds left, Sonny. 2 timeouts for Pittsburgh. This seems like Matt Stafford time.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford, 40 seconds, 2 timeouts. You feel like at least 3's in play here. 7 for sure would be great. Look for some of Pittsburgh's outward breaking routes here. They've got some nice ones in the in their playbook here. And they've got some big-time rack receivers that you just got to watch out for. I think Cleveland's going to play off here. Rather get up to 3 than 7.
We saw the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Baltimore Ravens utilizing those underneath routes, and they got a lot of yards after the catch. In this game, they've been pushing it downfield more. So on 1st and 10, Stafford steps up looking for Javier Howard, and he is met immediately. No chance for yards after the catch. When you're met as you catch it, only 2 yards in the play.
Yeah, bad read there, and it looks like Pittsburgh's content with just going into half down 7 as they don't take a timeout there and they let the clock continue to burn.
2nd and 8, shotgun formation for Matt Stafford. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 over to the right side. He drops back to pass on 2nd down, waiting. Finds Drake Christian on the right side. He'll go out of bounds at the 47-yard line. That's a big 20-yard pickup, Sonny, because not only does it pick up some yardage that can make it easier for them to get to the end zone, but with 2 timeouts, they have an ability to use the middle of the field now to maybe get into field goal range or even get a touchdown.
Yeah, they will. We'll see how that time works out from here. 15 seconds, not a whole lot to work with, but for Matthew Stafford, it can end up being a lot.
1st and 10, Stafford empty backfield, 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 over to the left side. Stafford dropping back, 3-man rush from the Cleveland Browns. He's going to have all day to work with. Waiting. Well, he had all day. And eventually you do have to actually throw the ball, though, as he gets taken down on the sack. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 14, 8 seconds to go, 43-yard line. You got to think just to heave to the end zone.
No, I don't. I actually think this is more a heave to about the 35-yard line somewhere of Cleveland, and you pick it up and you play for 3 here. So coming away with 3 is better than coming away with nothing. So I think Pittsburgh's going to look for something in that intermediate route range, something that's going to be caught somewhere around the 35-yard line, see what they can do after the catch.
Unisolated in the chat saying, is he alive? Unclear. No concussion protocol in this particular game. 2nd and 14. As Matt Stafford dropping back, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, waiting. He's going to take the heave down the left side, looking for Drake Christian, tipped. Incomplete pass. Sonny, they did not go for the short pass at the 35-yard line. They tried to get it all, and now with 1 second left, you really don't have a whole lot of options.
No, not a whole lot. The thing is, Pittsburgh doesn't really have the jump ball wide receivers, the big guys that are going to go up in a crowd and get it. They've got a lot of smaller, quicker wide receivers, so it'll be interesting what they try to pull off here.
3rd and 14 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Matt Stafford coming out there, dropping
Call
everybody
timeout,
back.
run a Wildcat.
Oh, the Wildcat time. Gotta love the Wildcat at the end of the game. Nope, they're going to try to throw it here as Matt Stafford dropping back on 3rd down. Throws a pick. And you're lucky that Chauncey Arnold's a sure tackler because that was almost disastrous.
Yeah, that almost was the worst thing possible there.
Ooh, boy. Well, that is going to do it for the first half. 17-10 your score. Cleveland on top. Pittsburgh can get the ball to start the second half. So if you're the Steelers, you got to feel good, Sonny. You didn't play your best game by any stretch of the imagination. You made some mistakes. You couldn't do a whole lot offensively. And yet you're only down 1 score and you're getting the ball to start the half.
Well, yeah, you're feeling pretty good if you're Pittsburgh. As bad as you started, you came away looking okay, and now Pittsburgh needs to get this offense going. I think that's going to start with some running. Trying to get Giovanni Bernard, Amir Abdullah, you got to get them doing something out there.
I formation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Amir Abdullah at the top of that I, and looks like he's going to get a carry on 1st down. Trying to find some room, shakes off 1 tackler. Can't get past the seconds. He'll get up to the 28-yard line. Only his 2nd carry on the day, folks. A reminder, first of all, welcome to NBL Live. Broadcast 220 here on the NBL Network. We are, in theory, going to have the NFC Championship game following this one. Doubleheader action tonight. Unfortunately, the Seahawks owner has no power right now, so we're just waiting to see if his power does come back on before we get to the end of this game. So hopefully we'll have that doubleheader, but just a programming note, we're really, really hoping that it comes back on because the Seahawks and the Lions should be a great game. We got the AFC Championship game right now, Super Bowl tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time right here on the NBL Network. 2nd and 7. Stafford dropping back. Stafford looks over the middle. He finds Javier Howard in space. He's going to get up to the 48-yard line. Another nice throw from Matt Stafford over the middle of the field. Stafford, though, not having his best game. 2 picks, 1 at the end of the half, so at the end of the day, that one probably doesn't hurt them. But Stafford just hasn't looked particularly good here in the playoffs, Sonny.
No, not really. And it seems like maybe the age is starting to catch up with Matthew Stafford. Long season, threw it a lot of times.
Handoff to Amir Abdullah up to the 49-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And another reminder, folks, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be drawing 2 prizes at the end of the third quarter. One, an NBL gift pack, including an NBL t-shirt, NBL custom controller, and some gift cards valued at over $150. We will also be drawing for a 12-month Xbox Live gift card. Got to be a subscriber to win. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be drawing at the end of the third quarter. There's a quick pass underneath to Amir Abdullah. Takes a big hit, but picks up the first down to the 36-yard line. Stafford takes the safe throw underneath, and Abdullah does the rest as the Pittsburgh Steelers are driving to start the second half.
And that was a big hit there. Surprised he held onto the ball, but he did, and that's huge as Pittsburgh slowly trying to drive down this field.
1st and 10, shotgun formation, bunch formation, 3 to the right side for Stafford as he drops back to pass. The rush is coming. He just gets off. He finds Javier Howard. Oh, Matt Stafford with a little bit of magic work there. Call him Matthew Houdini as it looked like he was going to get taken down, and he finds Javier Howard across his body for a first down.
You know, and I really thought he was rolling right to try to throw that C route. It wasn't opening up quick enough, and so he throws back across the body. A dangerous throw there, but he does get it off and gets the first down.
And now 1st and 10 for Stafford as he drops back. He's going to hand it off to Amir Abdullah over the right side. He's got some room, good blocking. He's up inside the 10-yard line to the 7. And Sonny, the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line has struggled actually a little bit in pass protection, but in the running game, Abdullah hasn't gotten a whole lot of carries, but they've opened up some nice running lanes for Amir Abdullah.
Yeah, they just haven't done it a lot, and that's been one of the big things here in this game. Not a lot of running happening. I think right now, if Pittsburgh scores here, you're going to see a whole lot more of Amir here in the third and fourth quarter.
Now 1st and goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Arnold coming in motion from right to left. He's going to hand it off to Giovanni Bernard, trying with a little motion to fake out that Cleveland Browns defensive line. Sonny, they were unfazed.
Yeah, and that was a predetermined cutback. Actually, the hole was to the right. Instead, he cut back to the left right off the handoff. Unfortunately, I think they'd be down to the 1, maybe the end zone if they kept to the right.
Now 2nd and goal. Stafford in the pistol formation. 3 wide receivers over to the left side as he drops back. Quick 3-step drop. Waiting. Down goes Stafford as it's Myles Garrett getting in the backfield. And this defensive line of the Browns has done a great job of getting pressure on Matt Stafford, Sonny, and getting him out of a rhythm.
Yeah, and Myles Garrett right there actually just powered through the left tackle. He got pushed back. It was only a 3-man rush, and the left guard comes over to help combo block off him. It just doesn't happen, and Garrett splits the block, comes right through, and hits Stafford for a big sack on the play.
3rd and goal, shotgun formation for Stafford and the Steelers. 3 wide receivers, and they're going to play it safe and hand it off to Giovanni Bernard, who's trying to fight off tackles. He does look at Bernard go as he gets in the end zone. Oh, Lord, Giovanni Bernard doing his Duke Johnson impression as it looks like he was going to be down to the 2-yard line. He says, no, thank you, I want 7 as the Pittsburgh Steelers tie this ball game up.
And that's what I talked about earlier in the game. Pittsburgh is not scared to run on 3rd and long because they know they can get those kind of plays. Bernard with the big broken tackle, and he's doing his best Duke Johnson impression there to tie this game up.
Big shout out to Sim Madden League joining us in the chat, saying NBL always going next level. Appreciate the support, Sim Madden League. Go check them out. Good guys over there at the Sim Madden League. We've got a tie ball game now, Sonny, and boy, it didn't look like it was going to be that way. Cleveland on the 25-yard line, up 14-3, and with the ball, Jawar Forney, I think, single-handedly keeping the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game.
Yeah, and right now, somebody just said in the chat, I think it was on Isolate, that the pressure is now on Cleveland, and I agree with that. Now you had Goliath on the ropes. If you're David in this one, you've got to try to stay ahead, and if you fall behind in this game, I think it's going to be over. So this is a big drive for Cleveland. If they do not score points here, I think Pittsburgh, that momentum carries them to a victory.
Now a 2nd and 6 for the Cleveland Browns. Rookie Joe Watson at the helm. He was nearly perfect in the AFC divisional round. He's thrown 1 pick today, but that pick was a big one as Watson bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left side. It's Joe Watson dropping back to pass on 2nd down. He has the drag route underneath. Instead, he looks for the covered man coming across on the crossing route. Sonny, that probably should have gone the other way. Artie Burns. Old Stonehand Burns couldn't come up with that one, but he had the drag route underneath, all sorts of open.
You know, they say pigs get fed and hogs get slaughtered, and right there, Joe Watson trying to get it all, trying to go downfield, and instead of taking what was underneath, and he almost paid for it. Big drop there by Artie Burns.
Joe Watson maybe showing a little bit of that rookie tendency right now. It's 3rd and 6, big moment, and the Cleveland Browns are going to have to back up 5 yards. That's a huge false start.
Yeah, big 5 yards there. Now, if you're Pittsburgh, you're playing the out route, you're playing the post, and you'll let something else beat you, but you're not going to give up the out route, and you're not going to give up the post here.
3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 to the right for Joe Watson and the Browns. He drops back to pass, 4-man rush from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Quick throw. David Njoku just stone cold dropped that one. I guess he felt bad for Artie Burns not being able to come up with his catch. Njoku all sorts open, a good throw on the money, and the tight end drops it, and the momentum, Sonny, you can feel it shifting towards the black and yellow.
Well, you heard footsteps there. You saw Jawar Forney in the back behind him just kind of creeping there as Watson puts it high enough to get over Watt. But the problem with that is you put Njoku in a very defenseless position there as he had to go up for it. I think he heard the footsteps and decided he was going to make a business decision there.
Yeah, that was just a straight-up business decision by David Njoku, and it ends up killing the Cleveland Browns as Pittsburgh now has great field position on the 41-yard line. I formation, Amir Abdullah at the top of that I, 2 wide receivers for Matt Stafford. It's going to be hand off to Abdullah over the right side. Abdullah's going to get a nice run up to the 42-yard line. Fights, keeps the legs driving, and is able to pick up 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're Pittsburgh, you got to keep the running attack relevant and maybe not a focus, but you got to keep them, honest so they're not just selling out for this pass defense. So a couple running plays, maybe not always on 1st down to start out, maybe a short pass and then a run on 2nd. Nonetheless, though, Amir and Gio have got to be a big part of this second half game plan.
Now 2nd and 8 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Stafford in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Abdullah going in motion. Going to hand it off to Giovanni Bernard on 2nd down. He's going to be taken down for a 1-yard loss. Maybe outthinking themselves there on 2nd down as Stafford's now going to have to pick up a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and that little screen action there, the swing pass, I would have liked to see him throw that there, 2nd down. Get them out in the flat. You see a lot of man coverage from Cleveland here on 2nd down. Not so much 1st down, but more 2nd down. That's where I'd be looking for that play.
3rd and 9 for the Steelers. Ball on the 41-yard line. Play action pass for Matt Stafford. Waiting. Only a 3-man rush from the Browns. He's going to have to take off and do something. He does a little bit of a shift, and he fumbles it on the dive. It's picked up, though. Oh, man, how did he drop that one? It was a nice cut as Giovanni Bernard diving on the fumble, Sonny. Another play that the Pittsburgh Steelers have to feel incredibly fortunate it wasn't disastrous.
You just got to slide. I mean, diving for extra yardage is cool and all until you fumble, and then that's a problem. You got to get down, Matt Stafford.
Abdullah stumbling, bumbling.
Wow.
He gets back to his feet. He's still going up to the 31-yard line. Amir Abdullah showing off some nifty footwork as he stumbles, recovers, and picks up a 1st down.
Yeah, it's been kind of a couple crazy plays here for Pittsburgh, but they find themselves now at the 31-yard line. And again, you feel like all the momentum that Cleveland had early in this game is just gone right now as Pittsburgh, whether it's luck or skill, who knows, but they're finding a way down the field.
The Pittsburgh Steelers out-lucking the Cleveland Browns. Look at Amir Abdullah, keep going. He's going to pick up 8 on the play to the 23-yard line. Sonny, where has the sure tackling Cleveland Browns defense gone?
I don't know. Not seeing a lot of great tackling by either team today.
No, it's real ugly as the tackling has not been great for either team, and it's allowed these running games to really get going as Amir Abdullah seems to be running with more confidence each time he gets the ball. He's going to get the ball here, cuts it back inside, juke move, picks up the 1st down to the 16-yard line, but bad news for the Steelers as Abdullah is down clutching that left leg.
Yeah, but it's okay because Giovanni Bernard, I feel like, is kind of the same guy. When you look at these two side by side, you feel like they're a little bit of clones of each other, so I'm not too worried about an injury here. It could be worse. It could be the star Matthew Stafford.
That is true. That would be worse as they're going to hand it off to Bernard on 1st down, and Bernard's going to pick up a nice chunk of yards. I think 7 yards on the play. Sonny, this is a passing team, and they don't look like it right now as they are grounding and pounding their way all the way towards the end zone.
Well, I think what you're seeing right now is them committing to the run here. Look for a play action here on second and third, maybe a slide concept back to the backside here.
2nd and 3, handoff to Bernard. Flag down on the play. This one's probably coming back for a hold, and it is indeed as Christian Horns gets caught as it looks like Amir Abdullah dislocated knee, will not return. Sonny, he was having a real nice game. Disappointing for a guy who looked like as the game has gone along, he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, it is, and unfortunately, that's probably going to be his season with that injury. And with the way Pittsburgh's playing, they may be going to the Super Bowl here in a few weeks, so disappointing for sure for them.
All right, let's draw for our prizes again. Hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of all of our drawings. We're going to give away the same Xbox Live gift card, not the same one, a different one, and an NBL Live gift pack tomorrow night as well during the Super Bowl at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. You have to be a subscriber to win. So on 2nd and 13 is going to be a handoff to Bernard, trying to find some room to the 15-yard line. So first for the Xbox Live 12-month gift card, it is Draco, our very own owner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Draco winning the Xbox Live gift card. Draco, I will send you that code in GroupMe. So congratulations to our very own FCB Draco for 12 months of free Xbox Live. Quick wide receiver screen to the outside. The blocking wasn't there, and down goes Arnold. Pittsburgh's going to have to settle for a field goal. Nice job there defensively by the Cleveland Browns, Sonny. We've seen so many times that wide receiver screen inside the 20-yard line goes to the house because of how athletic the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers are and how good they block on the outside.
Well, and I think right there that's just a function of playing them 2 times every year. And Cleveland knowing what they like to do on that down distance. You saw the cornerback shoot the gap there and bring him down as soon as he caught the ball. Almost a dangerous throw there. But now, again, Joe Watson, this Cleveland offense, the pressure is on them here to score. I think a lack of points here on this drive, and Pittsburgh runs away with it.
Now let's draw for our MBL gift pack again. That'll have an MBL t-shirt. It'll have a custom controller. It'll have some gift cards. It'll have some stickers. It has a little bit of everything. Valued at over $150. And the winner of the MBL gift pack is XX Under Oath ZXX. One of our subscribers here on Twitch. Congratulations, Under Oath, for that MBL gift pack. Be sure to DM us on Twitter, and we will get you that gift pack. DM us your information as Bud Dupree getting in the backfield, taking down Joe Watson for a loss of 5. Going to bring up a 2nd and 15.
Yeah, big sack there by Bud Dupree. I like the way he came off that edge. He shot right upfield, beat the right tackle handily off the snap, and that was huge.
2nd and 15, Joe Watson looking underneath. It is complete. Spin move, breaks the tackle. He's going to pick up the first down as Joe Watson making a nice throw underneath. But at the end of the day, it wasn't Watson making the play. It was Mitchell as he spins his way up to a first down.
It really seems at this point this game is going to come down to who makes less bad tackling attempts. Both these teams have struggled with it all game, Pittsburgh more so than Cleveland, and that right now is an issue here.
Shotgun formation, empty backfield for Joe Watson. Is on 1st and 10. He looks underneath. It is complete. I think that's Mitchell once again, who picks up another first down up to the 48-yard line. Now the Browns trying to use a little tempo, trying to keep the Pittsburgh Steelers on their heels as they're only down 3 here with 4:30 to go in the ball game. A spot in the NBL Super Bowl tomorrow night on the line. Shotgun formation for Joe Watson. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. He drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Waiting, looking, finds the out route from the slot. First down, Browns, as Mitchell coming alive here in the 4th quarter.
And there was, again, you saw a man coverage and you see an out route. That's a staple of Cleveland's offense. If you see man, it's an out route, and that's something Pittsburgh has to realize. They've got to disguise that man better.
Handoff to Duke Johnson on the right side. Davis making the tackle there as it looked like Johnson might be able to break that one, but a nice contain on the outside. Going to bring up a 2nd and 7.
Good job there by Sean Davis. Good safety group back there. Jawara Forney, Sean Davis, one of the better tandems in the league as far as deep safeties go.
2nd and 7. Joe Watson under center, dropping back on 2nd down. Looks underneath, completes it, but a big hit in the secondary. As lucky that no one got hurt on that play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Sonny, I'm surprised at how good this Cleveland Browns offensive line is containing a very talented Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line, especially the guy with the greatest name of all time, Churfy Gooch.
Yeah, haven't seen Churfy Gooch and defensive end Gregory, I think his name is. Escapes me a little bit there. But they've got a talented front 7. You're just not seeing a lot of pressure here on Joe Watson today.
Yeah, now a 3rd and 7 for the Cleveland Browns. Joe Watson, the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Duke Johnson to his left. 3:42 to go as Watson dropping back to pass on 3rd down. Waiting. And he's going to be taken down by Charlton George. And Joe Watson is down holding his shoulder. Oh, he should have taken off. Should have taken the first down, but waited a little too long. And Charlton George with a huge hit from behind. Now Cleveland looking to tie this ball game up. This one not a gimme. The kick is up. It is good. We have a tie ball game, but Sonny, Joe Watson is down, and that is bad news for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, this could be trouble here for Cleveland, whether they win or lose this one with Joe Watson going down, clutching his shoulder. We'll find out more about that coming up. But now Pittsburgh with 3:30 on the clock, and Matthew Stafford, the league MVP, coming out here with a chance to win this one. If I'm Pittsburgh, I take this one nice and slow. I'm in no hurry to score here. I'm going to try to take this one for all it's worth.
And just to let everyone know, we are happy to announce that tomorrow after the Super Bowl, we will be opening applications for our second annual EA Access 64-player tournament. First prize this year, a signed Saquon Barkley helmet. Last year we gave away that AB jersey. This year, a signed Saquon Barkley helmet. Applications will be opening up as it looks like Joe Watson will return to the game, so good news for the Browns. At the end of the day, we're talking about the tournament. Yeah, we'll be opening up applications right after the Super Bowl tomorrow night. 64-player tournament during EA Access. You got to be on Xbox. You got to have EA Access. But we'll be opening those up tomorrow night after the Super Bowl. It's a great tournament. We had a great turnout last year. We gave away almost $1,000 worth of prizes last year, and it is completely free to enter. As almost a disastrous play there, trying to find Javier Howard underneath. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, right there, Matthew Stafford pre-reading there because he really wasn't open trying to throw underneath the Javier Howard. We'll like to see maybe that little wheel route to the outside or something else, obviously, in that situation. Quick question, that signed helmet from the Giants running back, is that in fact a real Giants helmet? You know, they had that whole issue with Eli Manning.
No, this one is real. It is a real Eli Manning San Diego Chargers helmet. You're welcome. It was there for like a moment. As a big stop on 3rd down. The Browns finally getting the Pittsburgh Steelers to go 3 and out. And now the Browns, with 2:55 to go, Sonny, they have a real chance here to run down this clock and win this game and get to the Super Bowl. And it seems like they've had a lot of opportunities in this one. As a nice spin move there on the return. He'll go down at the 23-yard line. The Browns got to feel, I guess, maybe a little disappointed considering where they could have been if they don't have that interception to Fourney. They're at least up 3 scores at that point. Now, they still have a chance to win the game. You got to feel good.
Yeah, they've still got a chance to win the game, and right now you're feeling better because Matthew Stafford doesn't have the ball. You've got the ball. You've got a chance. All he needs is a field goal, really, although those 3 timeouts are looming in the back of your mind.
1st and 10. Joe Watson is going to hand it off to Duke Johnson on the counter. He's got some room. He cuts it back inside. Oh, Lord. Sonny, your thoughts on the cutback inside? He went really far inside and sort of ran back into the pursuit of the defense.
Yeah, right there. That's what this Cleveland Browns offense does. They like the cutbacks. They like the counter plays. They like the outside runs. You got to take care of that. Force them back to the inside, up between the tackles. 1st
and 10. It's another handoff to Duke Johnson. He's got the 1st down and more. Up past midfield, up to the 46-yard line. Duke Johnson just continues to keep the legs moving, Sonny. With no Isaiah Crowell in Cleveland anymore, it was a big question whether Duke Johnson could be that number 1 back, and today he has proven himself as he has 117 yards and counting.
And if I'm Pittsburgh right now, I actually consider sending everybody kind of this cover 0 blitz here. You send everybody, and if they score a touchdown, you get Matthew Stafford the ball at the end. What you don't want to do is not give him a chance with the ball.
We will hit the 2-minute warning for the Cleveland Browns with the ball. Pittsburgh does have all 3 timeouts. The Browns on the 46-yard line, probably about 5 or 6 yards outside of a decent field goal range. As the handoff is Duke Johnson, a big hit on the interior as they bring down Duke Johnson for a loss of 2 on the play. The Steelers' defensive line coming up big on 1st down.
Yeah, and I'm bringing pressure. Bring pressure. Again, Pittsburgh, if they can get to the quarterback here and take him out of the down and distance, are in business. But if they let him get a 1st down here, they're going to be in trouble.
Bunch formation, 3 to the right side. Joe Watson dropping back to pass on 2nd and 12. Looks underneath. It is complete. Shazier going for the strip. Almost pried that ball away. They're going to bring him down at a 3rd and 1. David Njoku coming up with a catch on that play and a huge down right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
And right here, Pittsburgh's got to go. They got to go here. They got to bring the heat. A 1st down here puts them in a bad position. Send the heat here. Send Ryan Shazier. Send Sims up the middle and try to blow up Joe Watson before he can even hand the ball off.
3rd and 1. It looks like it's going to be a handoff. Duke Johnson, 1st down and more. Up to the 20. Up to the, shoestring tackle the 17-yard line. If you're Cleveland, you're actually probably happy that he got tackled there, right, Sonny?
Yeah, I think unfortunately, Pittsburgh never say die and all that fun jazz, but I think you got to let them run by you at that point because you're in a position now where Cleveland can run this clock out and really just kind of seal this one away.
Pittsburgh will use that first timeout. They let a lot of clock run off on first down, but it doesn't really matter. Pittsburgh may be looking at letting Cleveland get in the end zone, letting their offense get the ball back. Let's see what they decide to do. As the Cleveland Browns come out, Joe Watson, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. He's got Duke Johnson in the backfield on 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Duke Johnson. Ryan Shazier with a big hit. And Ryan Shazier is down now. Made that hit so hard he hurt himself.
Yeah, never good when you hurt yourself tackling someone, but nonetheless, it does happen, and Ryan Shazier, goes down with the injury. We talked about field goals, though. If you do remember, field goals and extra points.
No gimme.
Pittsburgh team not always guaranteed.
2nd and 12. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Joe Watson. Duke Johnson in the backfield. 57 seconds to go. It's going to be a handoff on the jet sweep. Spin move, cuts it back inside. Just short of the first down marker. Yeah, Sonny, I am surprised the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't just letting them go. Yeah,
and unfortunately, I think that's going to be the undoing here for Pittsburgh, unless they come up with some sort of miracle coming up here. They had a couple chances where they probably should have let them run free, score, and get Matthew Stafford back the ball. Instead, they tried to stand their ground, and they just died by 1,000 cuts. A lot of Duke Johnson runs kind of just shredded them here in the end.
Now Pittsburgh's going to be looking for the field goal block at least. 3rd and goal. Handoff to Duke Johnson. He's going to be taken down short of the first down marker, so Pittsburgh will be forced to Cleveland will be forced to kick the field goal here. 43 seconds to go. If they make it, Pittsburgh will get the ball back. 6 seconds left, 7 seconds left or so. But field goals aren't a given now, Sonny. We saw the Baltimore Ravens miss an extra point in the last game. We saw the Pittsburgh Steelers get a kick blocked last year that ended up costing them the game. You just never know.
Yeah, you never know, but this is about as gimme as you can get, lined up perfectly on the hash marks. Great job there by the running game doing that.
You got to think Cleveland's going to take a timeout here somewhere near that 1 second mark on the play clock as we're down under 10. Clock running down. Nope, they're going to kick it now. The kick is up. It is good. Pittsburgh will have the ball back, but they're going to need to get 3 points with no timeouts and only 9 seconds on the clock, Sonny. Dire times in Pittsburgh.
Yes, very bad clock management there by Pittsburgh. I get you got to try to stand your ground, but at some point, knowing the down, the distance, the time on the clock, you kind of just, maybe take that tackle attempt a little bit less serious.
Yeah.
Just
and you got to think
Johnson run by you.
You got to think if you're the Cleveland Browns, you are telling your defense, don't let anybody behind you, and for Lord's sake, do not commit a penalty.
I think Pittsburgh's got to run the Wildcat here, right? I mean, that's basically what it is. Pittsburgh's got to go Wildcat here. That's the best prevent defense in the game. But now they're gonna throw it.
They're gonna do what has gotten them here. 9 seconds to go. Pittsburgh needing a miracle. It is Matt Stafford. He looks to the out route. He finds Drake Christian, who gets out of bounds, takes a late hit out of bounds, but that is never called in this game, and it continually infuriates me. 5 seconds to go. Pittsburgh, one chance to get a little miracle.
Yeah, I get it, Matthew Stafford and all that jazz, but knowing that you're seeing a lot of prevent defense, Wildcat would be a very nice call here.
Well, this is the game, folks. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Stafford moving out of the pocket. Stafford is going to make a heave to the left side, and that ball is not even in bounds. That's going to do it. The Cleveland Browns will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. And Sonny, first of all, we'll get to the Cleveland Browns in a second. But talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, Matt Stafford, a lot of people saying best season they've ever seen out of a quarterback. An unbelievable statistical season. And their whole season comes down to 15-1 during the regular season, 2 losses in the entire season, both to this Cleveland Browns team. And it came down to Matt Stafford just not playing well today.
Really, like you said, it did come down to Matthew Stafford. He just wasn't the guy we thought we saw all season long. Some forced reads, some bad reads at times, and really just not dealing with pressure well. It seemed like the pressure in Stafford's face was the difference in this one. When he saw pressure, he just kind of ate those sacks, and it put him in bad downs and distances.
Well, it's time to make our Play of the Game selection for this broadcast. Broadcast number 220, the AFC Championship game, and the Cleveland Browns Fantastic game from Joe Watson, but at the end of the day, Duke Johnson was the guy that got this going for them offensively. Didn't know how much of a run game they would have against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He ends up going for over $120 on the game. An unbelievable game from Duke Johnson. He showed off a lot. I don't think people expected him to be as effective as he was, especially in one-on-one situations.
Yeah, I mean, really, it came down to Duke Johnson making guys miss, breaking tackles, and just keeping drives alive. He really was the guy that, would pick up 7-8 yards and really keep these drives going. And that was the death by 1,000 cuts that Pittsburgh suffers.
Duke Johnson, 19 carries, 134 yards on the day, averaging 7 yards per carry. He's your player of the game for Broadcast 220. You can check out all of our player of the game selections on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. You can also apply to join the NBL under the Join tab. It's Play Hard, Have Fun, now following here on Twitch. Appreciate the follow. And folks, before we get out of here, because it does appear that there's still no power out for the Seattle Seahawks owners, so unfortunately, doubleheader just not happening. Unfortunately, you can't you can't really play without that power, but we will be on tomorrow night. Hopefully everybody has power. And we'll be on at 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Sonny, the Super Bowl, we know the Cleveland Browns will be representing the AFC side. Steelers and Lions. I think, obviously, if you're the Browns, you'd rather see the Seahawks there, right? That's who you want to see. Let's go the other way. If the Detroit Lions end up winning the NFC Championship game, Sonny, how much of a chance do you give the Cleveland Browns to come away with a victory?
I give them a little bit, like maybe 5%. I think the problem with Cleveland is that out route dependent offense is going to get stuffed. I think Cleveland, you're going to see some usering of cornerbacks, especially on the backside out routes or the slot out routes. You're going to see them shade to the outside and undercut some of those things. And I think really what you're going to see is you're going to see a chess match that Cleveland is not prepared to win in that Super Bowl. But 5% chance, that gives them a chance.
Absolutely. So again, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here, we will have our NBL Season 31 Super Bowl. And if you haven't caught one of our Super Bowl broadcasts, it really is a huge show. We will have everything from some awards we give out to the actual game where we will crown our second to last Super Bowl champion of the Madden 18 cycle. It is a great show. 8 o'clock Eastern time right here on the NBL Network. We appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight to the AFC Championship Game Broadcast 220. For my co-host, Sonny Weaver, I'm OSU. Your final score, once again, the Cleveland Browns with a late field goal coming out on top, 23-20 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. We will see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, for the NBL Season 31 Super Bowl right here on NBL Live.